All right. Good evening, everybody. You are checking us out right here live on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Coming up in 20 minutes right here is the weekly program Talk Live with Van Stone. If you wish, you can communicate with us via the Facebook. And you could also communicate with us via YouTube, but I'm only looking at the Facebook because I'm doing like 15 different things at one time. So your comments will be registered after the fact on YouTube, but we'll be looking at Facebook Live tonight. The music you're currently listening to, our lead-in music, is being provided by a company called Audio Library. And there are different songs, and if you would like to hear these songs, you could actually go to the Audio Library YouTube page, and you can check those songs out for yourself. They are providing our backdrop music without us getting copyright strikes. So that's great for them. So again, you go to Audio Library, Music for Content Creators on YouTube, and you can check out the music that you're listening to. Anyway, let me finish setting up. Remember, in about 19 minutes right here, Talk Live with Van Stone, live right here. Test. 1, 2, 3.
You are the only participant in the conference.
Your mic. What?
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Your mic. One.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. You on? I'm on? All right. We don't need to hear each other out here? Oh, I hear it now. Okay. Echo? Good. All right. Testing 1 2. Good. Let me get here. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Okay. Sound coming out of there?
Yeah.
That's what you want? All right. Testing, maybe you should, because it's bouncing. Testing 1 2 1 2. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. That's better. Yeah, this is normal. That's normal without that. And this one is on, of course, right? Testing 1 2. Yep, I can hear myself good. Right. Yep. All right, your mic is good. All right, so we can restart.
He called me on my personal number. I texted him back.
Antoinette?
Oh, Antoinette just came in.
I'm gonna ask them to introduce themselves.
Okay, baby. We're on the phone very sure.
That's it? Just me and her?
Yep. Hold up.
Okay. I thought we went through this already. No, we did. Well, we should have. How that now? Is that one in good? Let me see on that side.
We'll add in a little bit.
Woo! I'm scared of this thing. How about now? In? All right, let's go. Let's go. I'm trying to start on time. Internet there? Internet, you there? All right, come on, one here, because she's going to come right in. Internet, you there?
I'm there.
All right, we're going to jump right in. And then my son, he can just walk right in.
Okay, we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, go.
Good evening. Van Stone here, WVSR 1360. We are in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Beautiful day, sunny skies. We always like to let you know what the weather is before we get started. We're going to try to keep this fun and not, avoiding the seriousness of what's going on. So, welcome everybody to Talk Live with Van Stone. Coming to the studio, of course, is Kasim Turpin, education man from AKA Studios. We are here in the new AKA Studios, AKA Studios Dance Club, where children and adults can come during the COVID-19 and they can participate. Now, here's the beautiful thing. We are here many dance in the new choreographers who are actually shut down. And they're doing what they're doing based on the fact that they have limitations. So they're doing video, but we're doing everything. This is the beautiful thing about what we do with the charity, AKA Studios. We are available here by appointment only in Philadelphia, representing Brooklyn, New York. And so if any of the students or the choreographers or anyone else dealing with dance or music interested in coming in and helping out, this is our contribution. Just get in touch with us. Check out the Facebook, Kasim Turpin's Facebook. Nice new poster. Congratulations.
Thank you. My YouTube channel is called AKA Studios, and the last post we just did was an interview I had with my little sister who's a young dancer. You should definitely go check it out, and there's many more to come. I have a mentor I want to stop by, some colleagues in dance I want to stop by, and hopefully we could just entertain you guys during this time.
All right. So, along with the teams, a little echo, there's a little echo coming from the
Yeah, I think it's mine.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yes, better now.
Yeah,
all
a little
right,
better.
So along with our team, we have Antoinette, who's online in the house. Antoinette, you there?
Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome
Okay,
on
so we're
the
expecting the team that we have. Of course, Jerry Wilson is here, who's handling all the technology for the show this evening. We have some just some good updates coming up as well. We want to let you know that we are building on several things. We're bringing back the magazine, which is Media Key 307. That's for all of you stylish people who are interested in the good looks, male, female, and all the other great things. So if you're interested, you can submit a photo, to us, and you have to register as well, and we'll see. So we can put you on the front cover, making the front cover. We have the Discovery, which is still running, making the cover of Discovery magazine. Philip Front Page News. We're putting out regular news for what's actually happening in California, New York, Washington. And so we're doing all those positive things for you so that you can be busy and not feel like, well, I don't have anything to do. There's plenty of good things to do. Now, you can go outside and get the sunshine. And I also want to say we are still working with the rest of our team. We have Hard Rock Skip Hamilton, who's doing great, excellent in California. just dealing with our concept where we are promoting to stop the spread of the virus, COVID-19 virus. So we're just so excited now. You know, even though this is difficult times, we want to let you know that we are talking about a lot of positive things. Okay, so with that in mind, let's bring up a topic of what's happening right now that we can jump into, because you know I got many topics.
Okay.
Okay, I mentioned Hard Rock. Good.
All right.
Go.
What topic?
Any topic, because you know, I thought you had some. Well,
All right. I actually have a good topic.
Yeah, I know. You do.
Let's get on the topic of black males in dance. Okay. That's the first or second. I just got an interview with one of my friends, and we're basically we're both educators in dance, and we're both trying to see how can we inspire our kids to want to do dance, because the way dance is looked at right now is still frowned upon when it comes to our men. So we're trying to figure out how we can encourage our men to find a love in dance again. It's okay for most women to be dancers, yes?
No, go ahead. That was somebody.
It's mostly okay for women to be dancers, but men is still really difficult for people to accept and to come around to. So I guess my discussion or my question is, how do you feel? Okay, I can't ask you that, but
you know you can ask me.
All right, Dad. So how do you feel about the topic in males and dance, black males in general?
Well, I feel great about it. Number one of my greatest heroes happened to be a female. You know, I was going to talk about Misty Copeland. One day, if we can actually get her on the line, it would be wonderful. But the reason why I'm mentioning her is because Misty Copeland, as a female, has been through so much, so many just obstacles in order for her to be successful. And the fact that, of course, she's a black American female. So imagine then, with the black males, we really need more black males to get into the dance, because as a natural leadership role, the black male actually could really make the change of the dynamics so great in the negative view that most of the people have against black males. So to find out that black males are just naturally talented, and with all the exercise and all the training and all the other things that they have to do, I know that it's more to it than just, you know, getting out shaking, or some of the pop or the lock dance and some of the stuff that I grew up on. You can go back further, and black males really need to be strong in dance, because actually historically, if you look at it, that was a big deal where the black men would actually take the lead in leading the whole community into all positive stuff.
Yeah, I think the stigma on black males and dance in general is that, which goes into my second question, does dancing make you a homosexual?
Oh my goodness.
Because most people fear, and most people, I guess, parents, my mom, she really didn't want me to dance, to the point where I was abused as a kid because I wanted to dance, and I ran away from home, got brought back to the house, ran away again, mostly because I was gay, and plus they thought dancers are gay, so why would I want my son to do that? So I guess my question is, does dance, or having a love for dance or a passion for dance, make you a homosexual?
Okay, so since you're my son, I'm going to jump right in it. Then we're going to open it up to the team, and I'm glad we have the team here. Again, this is WVSR, Power WVSR. Van Stone, face behind the voice. We're here with Jerry Wilson, who's handling all the technology. Kasim Turpin, who's representing the LGBTQ community conversation. Yo, I'm getting good at that, though, right?
It like rolled off your tongue. Like,
I'm telling you, man. It was so difficult for me to really say it. But anyway, we have Hard Rock Hamilton. pro wrestling heavyweight champion from SCW Soul City with us. We have Antoinette Cook. And we also have Janet Daly, who just joined in as well. Warren Bloom, I believe, is also on the line, too. So we basically have close to the whole team. Now, I want to jump in and answer the question, not just because you're my son, but if it wasn't my son. First of all, I'll just bring out one point here. When we used to watch a dance program called Soul Train,
I love Soul
most
Train.
of the dancers who had all that talent, the average person had no clue that the majority, 90% of the males were gay. But not just the males. Here's the other thing.
The
The females
too.
were gay as well. Now, all the dance styles, all the moves, everything else, everybody else really wanted to copy, mimic, practice until they got it just right. So to learn how to dance, you know, I mean, I used to dance a little bit. And back then when we were doing everything, which was great and wonderful, we used to have community dance contests. Okay, so see, y'all call it dance battle. See, so we would just go around from neighborhood to neighborhood, and it wasn't even about winning any money. We just wanted to win. So just like you're doing with your sister, I was dancing with my older sister, and she would just drag me out to every contest.
Block parties. All
Exactly.
the block parties.
And I was like, no, I want to. She was like, yeah, you got to go because I want to win this thing. So we be standing right, and then what they would do, which is similar to your practice and training, because I've seen you do this with kids, they would make a circle, and you would be in there dancing, and then the judges would walk around, tap you on your shoulder, and you were out. So that I'm just bringing it all back to what does homosexual have to do with dancing? Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? In fact, you had to have some skills to hold your own. So let me open it up. Anybody else that's listening on the team, online, come on in.
Yes, this is Antoinette. I wanted to give a big shout out to Kasim because I wanted to let him know he's definitely a voice for the male gay community.
Thank you.
And what does your sexual preference have to do with your talent, period? Whether you gay, straight, or anything else.
I love to hear this because this was my fight as a kid with my mom. What does who I am have to do with what I want to do? And I tried to, just this year, I had a conference with a parent, and they were telling me that they didn't want their child in my class because of my morals and my values, because of who I was. So it feels great to hear you guys say these things, but just this year, I had a child taken out my class because of who I was. So I think that the issue is a little bit more on edge right now than most people may think, and I will try to be that voice, and I will try to be that understanding ear for some people to understand that this is real. Unfortunately, we still going through stuff like this. Yes, ma'am.
This is Janet, everybody. How's everyone? I'm saying hello because I guess didn't get a chance to do that, but hello to everyone. Kasim, you already know who you are, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You already know who you are. You know what you do. And my suggestion is that you set up what you do with the parents of the children who know who you are. And don't waste energy on those that who don't accept you. Just it's too much energy. It's not necessary. There are plenty of people out here now who don't care about that. No. Also, Van knows, but I grew up with and danced with Judy Sujet in Philly. And those were hard times because Judy was very dark. And you're talking about being gay, but what she went through, her mom went through because she was so dark doing ballet.
Yeah.
At that time, it was rough. So you look at it like that. Rough is going to be rough. Doesn't matter what the rough is. Just do what you do. That's just my suggestion. I wouldn't even worry about it.
I'm learning what my job is here on Earth, and it's probably to convey and to communicate to people who listen to me is that because of who I am doesn't define what I can do. And I also try to tell my students that because of who I am, it's not who I want you to be. I want you to be better. Because the fear is that I guess I'm the teacher who I am, and like the parent said, I'm teaching their child these type of, which I'm not. I'm just being myself, just to clear that up. But it's thank you, and I appreciate
You're
those
welcome.
words, and I'll make sure that those things aren't in my heart, but they're in my head, and I'll keep those things, to the
Always.
forefront.
And listen, encouragement, I danced. I did. I loved it. I mean, get with me. I love to channel you. To just be you. That's
Yeah.
it. Don't worry about that. Your mama come around. You just gotta go do what you do. Go
Well,
do
it's
what you do.
7:15.
Yes.
Oh, Antoinette, you got something?
Yes, I agree exactly what Janet is saying. And I also believe, too, that Kasim or anybody else, there is someone that's watching you, whether you believe it or not, even people that you don't know, young youth that's going through the same thing that you basically went through, and you're going to be a voice for them as well, helping them deal with different issues, because as today, just like I said, what's going on with this coronavirus, it is a really bad negative, but it's a positive as well, because I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for what's going on now, we're not going to stay at home with our families. We're not going to know the mental health of our children. These schools and daycares, they use them for babysitters. We still don't know. We can live in a house with someone and still don't know who they are deep within. So I say to you, hats off to you for being that voice for someone, maybe a lot of people are you. It doesn't matter. They can be younger than you, but you are that voice for them. A lot of people struggle with a lot of different things they don't talk about. So thank you, and I commend you for opening that door, for having people talk about it. You are who you are. I am who I am. Ain't nobody perfect.
Yeah, we're just normal people. I think I look at this issue as the same as being black, as the same as being Latino, as the same as being American as well. So I think I think that I will try to have many more discussions on topics like these and try to make sure I bring as much knowledge as I can about the situation.
All right, so it's 7:18. I'm Van Stone. Talk Live with Van Stone, the face behind the voice. This is Kasim Turpin, Education Man. Jerry Wilson's over there on the tech. We have Hard Rock Skip Hamilton, California out here. Janet Daly, Antoinette is here. Warren Bloom is here. So I don't think I left anybody out. I think we're ready for a break. Are we ready for a break?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, so we gotta wait 5 minutes.
No, you can go. It's a 5-minute break.
Yeah. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. We'll be back in less than 5 minutes. How about that? 3 minutes or less? Compromise.
I wanted to run the whole thing.
Okay, run the whole thing.
All right.
We'll be back.
Alright, babe. I'm getting ready to go.
Wow. You can stay with me.
I can.
Love you.
Alright, love you too.
I see your body, yeah. I wanna take you down. It's a euphoria. Listen to how we sound. kissing all over me, yeah. How can it be, how can it be, yeah. You got a him, you don't got a me, yeah. Infidelity, infidel, we ain't right, but it feels so good, so good, so good. We ain't right, but it feels so good, so good, so good, so good, so good. We can only be one day. Can you keep a secret, babe? They don't need to peep it, babe. Risky, yeah. You just make a missing girl. Or you may just come and girl. You gotta hear, you don't gotta me. Infidel, it feels so good, so good, so good. We ain't right, but it feels so good, so good, so good. We ain't right, we ain't right now, no, we ain't right, we ain't right, we ain't right, we ain't right. We ain't right, we ain't right, we ain't right. We ain't right. We gotta go. We gotta go. But I don't want to.
No. I want you bringing your topic. We're in? We're on. Okay. Welcome back, WVSR, Power WVSR 1360. Boy, we've been around for a while, and we're coming to you live, Philadelphia. We're on Facebook. We're also on Power WVSR YouTube channel. We're also on Jerry Wilson Philly Funk Radio YouTube channel as well. I got to get used to doing his call-out numbers. We have Jerry Wilson here, who's controlling the technology. Stay tuned. Like I said, if you're just joining us and you're getting used to what we're doing, believe it or not, Van Stone, I'm really not long-winded. But I know it just seems like I talk a lot, but I really don't. The better shows that we have is the Jerry Wilson Show. It's a short segment. It's like weekdays. And I mean, I just have to commend him so that you follow him more than anybody else. This is my recommendation. He does the traffic. He does on-the-spot information updates. And it's just so professional as the way, and he's been doing this for a long time. So we met 21 years ago, just so that all the listeners, files understand that. And, I think you coming around to take credit? Oh, okay, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm here.
Be careful with that chair. That chair is weak.
I know.
It ain't you, but go ahead. No.
Yeah, so anyway, like Van was saying, weekdays I do a show. I'm actually going to start doing it a lot more, what I was saying. And this is real. We talk real on the show. The stuff going on right here, a lot of people got laid off, and unfortunately I was one of them. So, but fortunately we're doing media, and we're kind of keeping you informed. So I'll be doing a lot more of the media stuff until I go back to what would be considered my regular day job. So, trying to entertain people, people that are staying in the house and so forth. So, we'll be here. We'll be here with you.
Okay.
So anyway, let me go back behind the board.
All right. All right. You doing a great job.
There you go.
Also, shout out to the rest of our team. We have the wonderful Antoinette. She goes by Antoinette. She's here, but on the phone. She cannot be here at the time in studio, but it's okay. But, just several people who took a look at the Van Stone International House for Arts and Education. We're in West Philly. That's what it is here. We got a nice new floor here. So we've been working on this thing close to 2 years. So all the support from Antoinette. Also, we have Warren Bloom here, if he's still here listening, who has been the backbone of our political commentary or just giving us updates from the Bloom Report.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, he is here. I heard him say, yeah, I'm here. Okay, great. All right, thanks a lot, Warren. Let me finish introduce everybody else, and then you have something to say, you can just bring right on in. We also have Janet Daly, longtime Philadelphia native, historian, a lot of titles, okay, that will go to help the show supposedly being exciting and fun. And David Anthony, he's not here at the moment, but of course he's part of our team. And of course we have the all-star celebrity. It's good to really have a top professional, people will recognize, which brings us up. If it wasn't for people like that we can associate with Hard Rock, Linwood Skip, Hard Rock, Hamilton, who's here, who is just, take you to a whole nother aspect. So he has a show too. It's just, again, with the technical difficulties, and we're trying to get more organized with timing. But we are here, and we're here for you. And so, just enjoy the show. Now, we're going to go back to the topic. But before we do, Kassim, hold up. I think, Warren, did you have something to add?
Well, I just wanted to first say we were talking about persecution. And it's a shame that we live in a society that we go around persecuting each other for whether our religious beliefs, social beliefs, social or lifestyle preferences. And I think this situation that we're in now is going to make us look at a lot of different things. And believe it or not, I think, we're going to come out of this thing the better as a society and community. The good thing I'm seeing, Jan, is that people are being helpful to one another as much as they can. And situations, people are trying to be helpful for the most part. I think that's the spirit of Americans. We try to help each other out during trying times. Again, I'm encouraging everybody who has to go out. And when you are being serviced by these individuals who are putting themselves on, first line, individuals are putting themselves on the line for us. I have been tipping everybody, Van. I went to Boston Market. The people serve me. I tip them. I go to McDonald's, because I'm helping try to feed as many people as I can. Take food to people, but everybody who's in the service business, I'm tipping them. That's all. I'm just encouraging people that when you tip and you're giving, number one, that's a good thing because you're sowing a seed, and then whatever you give is going to come back to you. But tip these people who are out here putting themselves on the line out, for us, being serviced. Of course, my brother is openly gay. Years ago, I had to accept the fact that he has a right to choose whatever lifestyle he wants to. I can't judge anybody, but we have to stop persecuting each other and try to live in a more state of tolerance, and in the context that we have to respect each other's beliefs. We don't always have to agree with everybody, but we can agree not to be disagreeable, but we have to learn how to live together as a people, because that's the only way we're going to survive this situation. But I've been hearing individuals telling me that they have received their stimulus checks, and some people have gotten them already in their in the mail are directly in their account. I can tell you, if you have filed taxes in the past couple of years, and if you have direct deposit, if the Treasury sent you your money directly to your account, you don't have to worry about it. You'll probably get it directly into your account. Thank God. I think I did file. I think last year, over the last 2 years, I filed. But anyway, I want to know that anybody on the phone or anybody knows of anybody who's already received their stimulus monies.
All right. Let me bring Hard Rock. Are you there, Hard Rock?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing? What's happening, guys?
Okay. Well, come on in because we didn't hear your thoughts, comments, direction. What you got for us?
Well, I'm gonna say it like this: to each his own about a gay individual, like everybody else says. You can't judge people by what you want them to be. I know people that have friends that are gay, and you could be a gay coach, a gay basketball player, a gay football player. You know what I mean? To each his own.
Hold on, Hard Rock. Hold on.
That's have nothing to do with what I like. You know what I mean? I'm ahead of the step. You know what I mean? And I'm not into judging people for who they are. Some of the nice people in the world do. So I commend your son for coming out like that because there's a lot of people that's a problem. And you find out later. You know what I'm saying? So that has nothing to do with how you treat a person, how a person sees you. I mean, you can teach kids how to be a young lady, how to be a young man, how to be an athlete, how to be a game player, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because some of the nastiest people in the world are heterosexual. Some of the nicest people in the world are gay. And I commend you, son, to come out. I wish he could talk up on the radio a little bit better than what he does. I can barely hear him, but he's a very nice young man, and God bless you, brother.
Oh, okay. Oh, you cut my mic off, huh? No problem. We got a mic cut off. All right. So
Thank
it
you,
was a
man.
very
Thank
powerful comment. If you can do us a favor, Hard Rock, hang up and call right back in. So maybe we can get you even clearer. Okay. But we heard you, but we want to make sure all the audience and the viewers hear you. So do us a favor if you just drop out right now and call right back in.
Thank you, man.
Meanwhile, turn it over to you, Kasim. Let's go with your question or
All right.
point of view or topic, interest.
So he wants me to ask another question. So I figure I'll ask the question, but he could do most of the talking like he likes to. So it's all good with me. Still on this ish topic, Dad, the question is for you. How does it feel? Because I know a lot of people out there have siblings, family members who are like me, who they may not understand, who they may have a difficult time dealing with as well. Because there's a difference when it's your friend, and there's another thing when it's your family. And sometimes I feel like some people treat this like a drug addiction. I feel like sometimes we get shunned to the side like a drug addiction, like, oh, you're that way, get away from me, you're doing this, you're doing that. So it's kind of like, how does it feel, I guess, having a gay son?
Well, that's an easy question.
Oh,
I
this
thought
is
you
so
were going to ask me
good.
something hard. First of all, there's a lot of people who know me from way back when I was a young guy. And always just being straight up, having views from a child and not knowing why. And I think I had this conversation with Kasim and others, just being straight up. For the longest, since I was young, I didn't like gay people, but I didn't have a reason. I never had a reason. It was just something that you pick up, you hear, and so just taking action, you just try to act just like everybody else. But then after a while, when you get older, that's when you mature a little bit, and then you say, okay, let me throw the reason thing in here. And then it's like, first of all, it's really none of my business. So when I started getting my maturity in, and it was like, I was able to mind my own business, be who I was, be interested in who I was interested in, then it wasn't even anything to really consider. And I was able to have a free mind to overpower myself and get away from disliking gay people because I really didn't have a real reason. And that's, so, being my son, when you were walking around with me, I took you everywhere. Every chance, every opportunity that I could. I mean, the only thing that I saw is that people loved you more than me, And you were always, I still got your pictures and stuff when you were young. You was one of the handsome kids, not just because every parent thinks their children are handsome, but the truth is all people, especially black people, are just the most beautiful people in the world. And naturally, we just have this enhanced beauty. Other people can see that. No one ever even thought about, even question or asking or anything, because with your natural abilities, as most people who are gay and have their parents, they're going to be themselves. They do what they do, and you just don't have that topic until maybe in other parent situations they might notice something different. In my case, my kids were just like me. So the fact that the only thing I noticed about me was being athletic. I mean, you played every sport. I mean, he's won
I did that.
championships.
I did that, yes.
And I watched the terror with all kids who at first didn't believe in themselves. And so I was just as hard on Kasim or anybody else, regardless whether it was a gay issue or not, because the main thing was we want to be successful and then have the advantage of going on. So just from football to all these different things, we're just champions. So I hope I'm answering the question very good, and this may be for other parents who may be trying to consider how to go about things. I would say that they should first look at themselves first. Look in the mirror, and if it's anything that's really, it's not your business. Now, just because you have a child, you might say that is your business, but that's not necessarily true. We have all things that are personal to us. And here's another thing. If you really want me to get into it, then I'll get into it.
Don't go too far.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make this point, which I think is gonna be very unique and important, especially if you're having you have gay children. There's a saying where they say all things that's in the dark, it comes out in the light, but that's backwards. That's backwards.
I think so too.
Let me finish. That's backwards. But we have been told that for so long, we repeat that. Everything in the dark comes out to the light, as if the light is really the goodness, but that's not true. All of the best things that happen in life happen in the dark, even from the beginning. And I know a lot of people who listen to your pastor and so forth, they're going to be like, oh my goodness, he's going contrary. But you have to free your mind. If you look at all the things that happen in the dark, most of the accomplishments happens in the dark. The moon, all the darkness started first. They say that the stars come out at night, but that's a lie. The stars are already there. It's just that you see more when the dark place takes place. So if you're minding your own business, and whatever it is that you have in privacy, if this makes sense to any person who's dealing with the topic of being gay, this will really make sense to them. That whatever you're doing your best things in the dark, where it's the best productions, and then when the light comes into play, usually the light is the worst thing for you. Light is the thing that can cause damage and so forth and so on. So these are the people who call themselves being in the light all the time and want to sit up here and judge you and all this other stuff, but they are the worst people compared. No production. Production happens in the dark, and then that represents blackness too. That's also my other thing, you know what I'm saying? Because that's also, when you tie in just that piece, that everything positive, somehow they've turned it into a negative without any reason. They can't explain it, no matter what it is. So I just wanted to say that part.
They couldn't explain why black people was a problem for so long either, to the point where they just had to give in and say, okay, let me just let them be free because We really ain't got no real reason to keep them. But thank you. I think it's really important just to hear parents speak out on their kids when it comes to this issue. Even though it is hard, it's something difficult to deal with. But it shouldn't be. It doesn't have to be. I think that's the moral of the story.
Okay. Well, it's 7:40. Any of the team online, do you have a comment before we change the subject to the next topic, or we'll take a break? But before we take a break, anybody else on the line that have a comment?
Yes, I want to say this.
Yeah.
Jan, go ahead.
Well, come on in.
Go ahead, Jan. I know
You don't know. I'm going to tell you real quick. You know what my disappointment would be? It don't have nothing to do with you. The only thing it would have to do with me, I had one, my son is a third generation only child, right? Third generation. So you know the family's really small. I'd have been upset if I couldn't have had a grandchild. That would have bothered me for a minute. I mean, I'm just saying, as a woman, that's where I would have gone with it. Darn, I won't have a grandchild. I won't get to have a grandbaby. That kind of thing. It might be silly, but that's hormonal too. Even in women and older women, they just want to take care of a baby, and the grands are like this. But I'm noticing that a lot of gay people are adopting kids.
We're having kids. We're definitely having kids now.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yep. That was it. I just wanted to share that.
Well, again, I want to remind everybody.
Because on this side, it's difficult. So if you're viewing and watching, it's hard for us to hear, although you guys can hear good. So that's why you're seeing our faces look like that, but it's okay. Okay, so at
What
this
I was
time.
going to say was,
There you go. Go ahead.
as a minister, we have to love like God, and that means unconditional love. Unconditional love is just what it is.
Absolutely.
And that's how I have matured over the last several years. I have to love each and every individual unconditionally, or I am not really loving them.
As a minister, can I ask you a question? Is it?
Yes.
What would be the difficult part about? I mean, if you take away the scripture, well, you can't take away the scripture, then you're not a minister. So I guess I can ask you this question. What would be the difficult part in my lifestyle when it comes to your religion?
Well, again,
well, that's what, but he said
everybody
love everybody.
has to be convinced
But
in his
I
own
guess that's what my
mind.
question is
The difficult part of a religion, what would be the part, the difficult?
No, I'm talking about as far as my lifestyle.
Right, your
You know what I'm
lifestyle
saying?
religion.
But we know
Right.
it's not always that
Well,
easy
again,
for everybody to say
I'm
that.
not-
Well, Warren, was you saying something?
Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, you know I got the answer. I thought you were trying to,
No, it's for him. It's for him.
Oh, all right. Well,
I'm simply saying is that I have learned to stop being so opinionated, so judgmental, so condemning people before the decisions they make. I have really 6 months in my own business. And 6 months leave other people's business alone. But I love my brother unconditionally, and I will defend him and protect him as a brother, like I would do my child or anybody else in my family. That's all I'm saying is.
Can I say something really quick, Warren, to you and to him? I got the fact that it's not a decision.
Right.
Why does everybody say it's a decision? People don't decide to be
Come on, talk about
whatever
it.
they want to be sexually. And I think that needs to be stressed more. People think you made a decision. It's not a decision. It's hormonal.
Well, that's what has been troubling the Christian community for years, that we have to give assent to the fact that science, biology, chemistry, all that plays a part in somebody making a choice and decision in their lives. And I'm just saying that may not be in every situation, but you do have to consent to the fact that biology does play a part in how people.
It's biology from birth.
So do you
It's
think
not
you
that
have
many
a?
just making a decision.
Yeah, I think the question.
That's what I know.
Yes, I think the question is. So do you have a choice on being straight, or do you just come out liking what you like?
All right, let me.
Yeah, that's a whole nother time.
Time out. All right, let me.
That's why I'm saying I can't judge it. That's why I'm not going to judge it, but I will give mental assent to the fact that people are like they have chemical situations that cause them to want what they want and do what they do.
Okay, so Warren. Okay, so everybody, time out. All right. First of all, this is Van Stone talking. So usually, I have my own view. But I also am strong on my views with facts, okay? So the best of our knowledge of what we know, according to biblical, whatever your religion is, it's just basically supposed to have been about good versus evil, okay? Good versus evil. So anything else after that is basically just made believe. It's just added. It's just added. So if you talk about homosexuality or a whole bunch of things, it's either your choice to add or not add when it comes to whatever it is you're going to believe. So when it comes to good versus evil, then who can judge the heart of a person based on whether they're evil or not? It's almost impossible. Most actions really then display whatever it is when it comes to good and evil. So the rest of the stuff, when it comes to the scriptures and people taking a verse here and a verse there, and then they want to, they want it to be whatever they want it to be. But as you go all along from the very beginning to the end, the most important thing is to take care of the poor and the needy. That's really the whole thing. Anything else, if you're going to bring the scriptures in and point this verse out and point that verse out, then you have to take and pick up your mirror, because all of these things that are list itemized sins and this and that, they're all the same. They're all the same. So that's where the debate and the argument comes in with people. Well, what I do is not as bad as what somebody else's do. But then, so if you're going to go with good versus evil, and then you go with all these other things, which is what behaviors human have, all kinds of behavior. The question is this behavior a threat to humankind? And the answer when it comes to homosexuality is no. It's not. It's not a threat to humankind. So that's what good and evil is really all about. Now, if you want to have your own view further than that, then that's really a person's choice. And I'm glad you brought this subject up too. While we're
we'll have a round table.
Our time is limited. We don't need to take another break because we only got 10 minutes. But I'm glad you brought this up. Because right now, dealing with the COVID-19, the most important thing is helping the poor and the needy, And instead of doing that, most of these people, they're still concentrating on the same old personal stuff that they have. So all this virus has done was driven you to be inside for the moment. But you haven't had enough common sense to just say, these other things are really a waste of time. That the most important thing is that how do we take care of the people who are the poor and the needy who don't have the basic necessities, which is why everybody's in trouble right now. The other thing is that even when people are fighting and they're making these choices, and they're always pointing out Sodom and Gomorrah and so forth and so on. You know, at the same time, they just eliminate the same point that I'm making. The same point that you had any character that you name up to Jesus, they always played the anti-hero role. What I mean by anti-hero, while most people think, you know, all your favorite characters are these great people, but when they went against what everybody said they wasn't supposed to do and support, that's when they became an anti-hero. And most of the time, the same people who are saying that they stand for God and all this stuff, they would not even support Jesus. They wouldn't support Moses. They wouldn't support Abraham. If you had the case in Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham was the one who didn't want anybody destroyed. And yet, you know, here's Abraham who went to war because it was the evil who took everybody. They didn't care what you were. These people were so violent and destructive that they wanted to just kill everyone and make them slaves. They didn't care. So this is the point. You know, when you come back and bring it to modern times now, this is where we're living. It's either we're going to have people who want to support one another compared to those who, they just want everybody to die. That's basically it. And right now, this virus is really proving the frauds of all these religions, all of them. They're fraudulent. You can't name one religion that's not fraudulent right at this moment. You can want to. I'm saying organized religion. I'm not talking about the individual. I'm talking about the organized religion because all of them foretold about everybody else was going to die but them. And where are they? They're hiding somewhere. They don't want to die. They don't want to get sick. And where are we? Whether you're homosexual, if you're straight, whether you whatever, we're out here on the front lines. And more important than that, who's on the front lines? Well, the atheists are on the front lines. Now, who are your atheists? The nurses. The nurses. They are. Because when they go in, when they take an oath too, they go in, risk their lives every day. They're getting sick and they're coming back. Some of them are dying. You know, a lot of them are dying. But they're the ones who are actually out there helping people where all these organized religions and people who stand for this and all your so-called issues, where are you? Aren't you supposed to be out there? So when I said this the last time, people didn't, you know, expect me to say it. But it's true. And then we had the Easter celebration. So all these people went out to meet for Easter.
To meet each other, not to the hospitals, not to these people who need them.
Right.
They met each other.
And then on top of that, they still have the same hate, which don't make any sense at all. You know, so I think that's a good tie-in to the question when it comes to that. Anybody else on the team have something to say?
Yes, this is Antoinette. I just want to say, during the coronavirus, if people do not come out of this being better, then something's totally wrong. And I mean, they really need to do a sit-down self-evaluation within themselves as well. Because going into this, if you don't come out better, I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand why you think people should be a better person, a better husband, a better friend, a better co-worker, and so on. If you do not come out of this a better person, then I feel sorry. If you go back into the same scenario after this is over and be in the same way, I have no words.
Right. And let me say this. Let me say this. So you have the Christians, the Muslims, the Jews, right? So one religion was mad at the Muslims because they covered their face all the time. Now everybody's covering their face. You know?
Fanny, get your stuff together.
Everybody's covering their face. Everybody's covering their face now. Right?
Well, I can tell you the main one that did it, that they called Michael Jackson, did it years ago, not to bring him up, but I have to say it now. Who looks weird now? You talked about him years ago. Listen, I'm serious. Listen to his song. Heal
Right,
the
and
world.
and that's my point. That's my point. So
And look what's happening right now. Now, who has to wear the mask now? We all do.
that's my point. That's my point. So now everybody got to cover their face now, you know. So then, but listen, let's go the other way. Let's go the other way. But then when you cover your face, the Muslims who were covering their face, what was their real purpose? Did they take the time out to explain to everyone why their face was covered? Some of the most beautiful faces, and I'm talking about our black Americans, our beautiful faces, which can bring sunshine and happy and joy in a time of depression. Just to see a pretty face, a beautiful face, they cover their face up without explaining why. And then so if you add all this other stuff as to their reason why, then it's on the other side. There was a reason why they covered their face, and all the other stuff was just made into it. But, you know, originally during that time period when the face was covering, a similar situation. It was unhealthy to not have your face covered, which is why we are doing this now. So then, are they frauds? Yes. Because they didn't really bother to explain to anybody, you know, what this is about, and then you got to go through all this stuff besides what this is really about as why you covering your face and your head. Then we go to the Jews, the same thing. They got the little thing on their head, you know. So what's that about, you know? And then eventually we're going to have some other stuff where it's going to be nuclear warfare. You're going to need to put something on your head to cover your head. You know, I'm just saying. So at this time, it's like all of the nonsense, the back and forth, this and that, who's better doing this, wearing your pants this way, covering yourself completely all the way down, you know, a lot of stuff. Okay, if you don't have a free mind, then you will go that way. But then if you have a free your mind, listen, I was a Jehovah's Witness for 30 years. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Before this virus, you could go anywhere in any big city, and anybody who's a Jehovah's Witness will be watching and agree. They probably was frustrated. Why are you making me go out and stand out in front of people? Why are you making me knock on the door? But now that this virus is in, you don't see none of them. Right?
And they should be there, knocking on the door, taking care of the people's, you know. Exactly. Because they know everybody. They've been at everybody's house every other Saturday, so, you know.
No, but they don't want to die. That's the whole point.
But cover up your face.
No, that ain't going to work for them. That's not going to work. That's the point. That's my point. Yeah. So it's not bashing any religion. Let's go to me, this is the moment of the atheists, in my opinion, because, hey, they're the ones doing the work. You know what I mean? You can name call us whatever you want. You can call me gay. You can call me atheist. You can call me heathen. You know, it's always you get that name calling. But we're the ones that's out here trying to do this work like we're doing now. We're risking our lives coming out here, you know, but we're doing it because we care. And maybe, you know, people are going to adjust themselves or not.
They have to. I think it's really important.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes left.
Go ahead.
I think it's just really important for us to just stay abreast on what's really going on and really remove all the simple stuff. And hopefully, like you said, we can come on top of this thing and people can change. And people can really start accepting life and embracing life and helping each other. There's no reason why there's over 10,000 black businesses and they're still not trying to give us money on top of the businesses that we already have.
I know.
On top of that, we don't even take the time out to help each other in our own businesses.
Right.
So it's kind of like we look at the government and we waiting for our stimulus check, but the whole time we could have been looking out for each other this whole time, and we could have been doing exactly this.
All right. So I'm Van Stone, the Face Around the Voice. Please join us next time on Facebook, on YouTube. Go online, PhillyFunkRadio.com. Listen to the music all day. We're wrapping it up. Go to FPNWVSR.org. Check out our news. We hope you enjoyed the show. Hard Rock was here. We're glad we had him from California. Jerry Wilson, We've got Kasim, we have Antoinette, we have Warren Bloom Report, we have Janet Daly. So, join us next time, guys, and we'll hope to, keep you busy. And let us know if you want more entertainment. We're going to do that for you. And give us some donations if you can. We really need it. And that's it. That's the buzzer. Are we done?